like we went out to this acid house, dude, and it completely changed our lives. I couldn't believe it.
Got scared, and shot a turn and said, sorry, leave me alone. And just laid into it.
It's actually possible that some of these fish like this will be processed and turned into fish fingers.
That's a word on everybody's lips. Even the tabloids are talking about it. Today we're inviting you to experience the acid house phenomenon at our Network 7 hip, happy and grooving party. As you can see, the studio's filled with hundreds of people who've been up all night fueled by a diet of Lucozade and ice pops, dancing under hot strobe lights. Has just got off a plane from Amsterdam where you've been on a 3-day acid house binge.
That's right.
Yeah. Have you had any sleep?
Well, a few hours, just literally a few hours.
How do you keep going all that time?
Just pure rhythm, dancing, really, just keeps you up.
So is acid house big in Europe? What areas is it big in?
Well, in Holland, like, they're just like having their first thing now, like first few parties, like this 3-day thing, and like next week they're having another like massive 3-day party.
It's hit Europe now, but Barry from Spectrum, can you tell us what the origin?
Origins, house music's from Chicago, right? Detroit is techno now, and the Paradise Garage, where it happened in New York, that's acid house. But here in London, where we've arrived now, is Balearic as well from Ibiza.
So it's a unique scene.
Mixed up, and it's not happening anywhere else in the world but London.
Is it just London-based?
No, it's happening in Manchester, it's happening in the provincial cities, it's starting to.
Great. Well, later we'll be coming back during our party, to the music, the drugs, and the acid industry.
Spectrum!
The place is London. The year is 1988, and Network 7 News is investigating the acid house phenomenon that is sweeping across Great Britain and bringing together young people from all walks of life. The message is, get happy, and the spirit is love. The question we are all asking, though, is this the summer of love, or is it yet another fashion flashback to the 60s? We talk to a group of young acid house revelers to find out what's going down.
I'm a builder, and I work for a living. I used to be a Herbert. A Herbert is the sort of person that would go out on a Saturday afternoon, have plenty to drink, go to football, and just smash trouble, the living daylights out of everybody, just for the fun of it. I was the same. I was basically a football hooligan. But, you know, look at me now.
Say what you like about the younger generation, but in all this multitudinous gathering, through these 3 tumultuous days, there were no riots, no chaos, none of the antisocial disruption which much smaller football crowds so often display.
Well, I'm an international model, and my life changed on February 14th, on Valentine's Day, when I saw this man making a scouring expression, leaned my hand over a sea full of heads, and said, "Why should such a face be scouring when it's covered in lipstick?" And the rest is history.
What did I say? Don't say it.
He said, no. Taste it. And I did. And he was a typical Herbert, and I love him.
Don't know what the younger generation's coming to.
I think it's a basic, classic case of attitude change totally. You know, I got fed out with the same old routine, Saturday afternoon, getting drunk. Drinking, fighting, being generally aggressive and showing off to your pals and that.
Well, where was the individuality in that? I'm discovering the poetry of this charming Herbert. And in no other situation would he be sitting with a naff American model.
Yeah, I'm a total changed man as a result of acid house, really and truly. It's opened my eyes to what friendship really is all about, you know?
Reg said the most poignant thing to me one night. He said,
Reg the veg.
Jane, come here, love, sit down. You love me, don't you? And I said, well, yes, I do. How did you know? And he said, because I love the way you love me.
And when you said that, you've just about said the lot.
You get Herberts from football matches mixing around with a gay crowd, for instance.
dancing on the same floor and just going berserk.
And just wondering how you managed before you knew them, and why you just assumed you hated them.
Before, they probably steam into you, wouldn't they, by looking at you, and now they're just with you. They've
Done
done
a lot of barriers, definitely. A lot of barriers have been broken down.
It's worth remembering that in the 60s, there was an extremely rich, not in financial terms, social mix around the hippie scene. You would find yobbos from Shepherd's Bush and Tyneside rubbing shoulders with renegade old Etonians, art students, ex-beatniks, you know, Jewish mods on drugs, all mixing it up together, with a certain amount of mutual suspicion occasionally. And this again is something that seems to be mimicked in this scene. And you know, anything which does break down class boundaries, even if it's only for a night and everyone climbs back into their own little boxes the next morning, just for having had the experience, I think it's beneficial.
In acid house clubs, you got your strobe and
Lasers. Smoke machine.
Plenty of smoke.
Smoke machine.
plenty of smoke, yeah. Very, very, very loud
Very loud.
sound system. And
Packed dance floor, definitely. The heat is enormous.
There's definitely the notion, both then and now, of the use of, say, you know, the strobe lights, the light shows, the loud music, and so on and so forth. A systematic derangement of the senses in order to liberate the spirit and the body.
Among all the things they swallowed, 70 tons of beer.
As an observation that I've noticed, a classic example is when you go to a club, say, a couple of years ago, people would be, like, doing their best to get as much alcohol down their neck as they could. But now, believe me or not, Lucasade is the in thing.
It's extremely healthy, because the mood of the 80s has, so far, been very acquisitive. It's been very much about, be a winner, you know, stomp anyone who gets in your way, grab, grab, grab. And here, you know, an ideology of going out to be friendly, to be non-aggressive, to have fun without having to triumph over anybody else or to create losers. In this scene, it sounds that when it's going well, there are no losers, everybody wins. And, you know, that's nice.
A great time was had by all.
Hi, my name is Danny, and this is my band, Danny and the Quayles. We had to pull some strings to get this recording contract, but we did, and this is our first song. Thanks, Dad. I spent the war in Indiana. Getting shot was not for me. I never went to Nam. I never saw Saigon. I only watched it on TV. I spent the war in Indiana. I never saw a combat zone. While my buddies hid in foxholes dodging napalm, I was safe inside my Indiana home.
He spent the war in Indiana while his neighbors went to fight. He never did a hitch because his daddy's rich. He was comfy and cozy at night.
I spent the war in Indiana. To the guard I was on loan. And the only thing I killed were Hoosier weekends. I was safe inside my Indiana home.
But we're also here to see another sport that skateboarding gets its origins from. If you follow me, you can see crowds have been gathering here all week. On this beach, there's a great PA systems. People are just coming all the time. A lot of this sport will be going later on. There's a huge sound system here. Loads of people still coming in, as you can see. And through here, in this enclosure, in this tent here, are the best. These people are the pros. They're the top of their class in the world. And we're going to be seeing what they're up to later on. They're just in here. They are, in fact, surfers. I know this isn't Hawaii, this isn't Australia, but this is one of the best beaches for surf in the world. And these are the top of their class. We'll be seeing what they're up to later on.
So it's summer holiday time again, when everyone starts piling down to the beach. Not me, though. I'm a city boy born and bred, and I hate the beach. So Network 7, against my will, has sent me down here to one of the world's most famous beaches, Venice Beach in sunny California.
We all live for the sun. I live for the sun. Because it makes fun. Pretty girls and their guys.
This is the home of the Beach Boys, the world's best surfers and the most beautiful bodies. But I don't know, I mean, I just think they're all a bunch of posers. I mean, what do they see in all this surf, sea and sand? Do you think Californians spend too much time on the beach?
Definitely not. How can you spend too much time on a place that's so fun, free-flowing, sunny? I'm on the beach every day, either in the morning, the midday, or in the evening. Surf, before work, after work. I think during the week, if it's a hot summer week, people will come down anytime, whenever they have free time.
But aren't people all sort of obsessing themselves, you know, sort of into their bodies and stuff like that? I mean,
absolutely.
Doesn't that make them sort of superficial?
No, not at all. Well, I feel good about my body. I'd like going on the beach, getting a little sun, surfing, stretching out before I go for a surf. Feels good, feels healthy.
It's a whole lifestyle. I mean, there's very few overweight people down at the beach. You see a lot of pretty bodies, a lot of good-looking people.
What do you think about the image that people have of Californians as all being sort of, you know, beautiful bodies, bright and sunny? I mean, do you think that there's a bad side to that?
Oh, this is the way it is. Oh, yeah, this is it. It's like this 365 days a year. Basically, all the people here are beautiful. Oh, look at her, huh?
Yeah, maybe that's why I'm not very good at being a Californian. Okay, fair enough. So life on a beach makes you feel healthy. But I mean, what about the clothes that you'd have to wear? I mean, look at this. You wouldn't see anything like this in Blackpool.
A lot of people that don't surf want to live the lifestyle.
Yeah, a lot of inland cities, the surfing fashion is growing, you know? You find in the middle of the Palm Springs, you know, 100 miles away from the beach, there'll be people in surf clothing, loose baggy shorts, and because they just want to live that, you know, free feeling.
You know what the 14-year-olds really like are the longer shorts that come to just above the knee. And last year the brighter colors were really in. This year it seems to be that more of the solid colors, the washed out colors seem to be what's happening. In California, you know, we have a water temperature that's pretty cold, the mean water temperature. So most of the time a wetsuit is worn. But when you're on the beach, you want to look really cool and really hip. So pretty much you wear a brighter color short. You know, a billabong, a gotcha, or a quicksilver. I know there's a lot of interest in Europe at the moment on the surfwear thing that simply relates to windsurfing. So, you know, hopefully we'll open a surf shop in London. There'll be a surf beat in London here pretty soon, and you know, these Londoners can get their fix of surfwear.
Okay, except it's nice to look good, and you know, it's useful to be healthy. But I mean, what would you do all day except get sand kicked in your face? I just get bored.
It's a feeling I get when I'm in the ocean with nature, one-on-one. It's a feeling, there's no other feeling you can get. You're surfing a swell.
You know, if you've been snow skiing before and you're really going down fast, it's that same type of feeling where you're totally committed, your concentration level is right there, and you can reach a stage in the water of total nirvana. You know, you can just be right in there, and almost your soul can leave you. You know, you're sitting in the water, the conditions are all right, your body's pumping, your heart's beating good.
Paddling out through the surf, you know, when a wave comes at you, you kind of, it's called a porpoise, a duck dive, where you push the nose of your board under the surface of the water, and kind of porpoise through the swell as it comes. That kind of keeps your forward momentum going out through the surf. Because the sooner you get out to the outside surf, the sooner you can catch a wave. And when the swell crests and breaks, you have to time it right, where you take off on the swell when there's still a face to surf on. And,
get radical.
And then you can do whatever comes to your mind. You know, you can be as creative or radical as you can possibly get, and it's up to you.
So, I mean, what is it about surfing? Is it the camaraderie with your friends, or is it the feel of being out there?
Oh, it's just growing up with all these guys, Eric. It's just a thing to do, you know? You've known them your whole life, and you go surfing with them. It's something you do. You surf in the summer, and you ski in the winter.
Listen, man, we're gonna get you out there today. I got a whip you.
Get me out there.
I got a board for you.
You're in the water.
You're not gonna get me out there.
No worries. No
Okay
worries.
then. No way. So being a beach boy, it's healthy, trendy, and energetic, and well, who knows? Maybe it's fun as well. So if you can't beat them,
Should be something done every day.
Across the USA, then everybody
I am a beach boy.
like California. You see them wearing their baggies, Warachi sandals too, a bushy blonde hair,
Surfing USA.
But the waves are really fun today, and the swell's sort of coming up, so it looks like we're going to have some good waves for the weekend. Hopefully.
Is it dangerous at all?
Yeah, it's well, we're in waist deep water right now. It's really dangerous, but I mean, if you know what you're doing, everything's okay.
How long does your board last for?
Well, this particular one's lasted me about 3 months, so I'm very happy with that. But normally that only lasts a month or two because they're really light and they're very fragile. So,
welcome to Newquay when you could be on the beaches of Hawaii.
Well, we have a major contest here every year, and surfers from all over the world come here to compete for part of the world title. So now it's part of our job to come here.
Does anybody ever get injured?
Yeah, they do actually. That's why we have protective pieces on the nose of the board to stop you from getting hit by that. But you know, you just got to be careful, you know?
Is the undercurrent very strong? Could I be swept off into
yeah, well,
sea, perhaps?
You can feel it right now, how it's pulling you, but the further out you go, the stronger it gets.
It doesn't look too difficult.
Okay, Pauline Mensa up there.
There you go. I don't mind.
To the beach.
Hang on a sec.
You might want to give him a big round of applause.
Off you go. Right, be careful now. It's dangerous out there.
Doesn't look too hard. Wish me luck. Say goodbye to my mother.
Hi, I'm Celebrity Sam with all the latest news and...
This is Theo. Theo, you're just about to remix Glen's.
Hello, Glen.
Good.
Hey there.
Can you just tell us what you're going to do with it? There's the record.
Okay, yes, we've been given the record. Okay, the record. What we're going to do is we're going to take bits of the record, we're going to sample them into this computer right here. We're going to then take the music and sample it into this computer, and we're going to modify and go in and change things all around. From that computer, into this system, mixed into this console, coming out with the finished product.
How do you think...
Glen Medeiros acid style.
How do you think this record is going to sound? Is it the kind of record you're used to?
No, this is definitely not a usual record we'd make an acid house record out of, which is why we're accepting the challenge. But it should be cool.
Do you think it's going to work?
Yeah, do you think it's going to work? Yeah.
And do you think it's going to be done by the end of the show?
Oh, definitely it'll be interesting by the end of the show. Ah.
Okay, Glen and I are going to leave you to it and go and suck some ice pops.
Thanks, yeah.
Come through here. well done. The central aspect of the scene has been that some clubbers get their kicks from taking drugs like LSD, which is acid and ecstasy. Now, they're both classed as Class A drugs by the government, which means they're in the most dangerous category. Most people have heard of the drugs, but how do they work, and what do they do to your brain? Julie Whitcomb is a doctor at Guy's Hospital in London. Julie, why do people take LSD or acid?
They take it because one of the effects of LSD is that it alters your mood, and it can alter your mood in a very positive way, and that makes you feel very good and high. And that's the reason people take it.
How does it actually work on the brain?
How it works is it alters the transmitters that take messages from some of the cells in the brain to other of the cells in the brain. And it interferes with some of those messages being carried, so that the things that you're sensing become mixed up and you've got no control over them.
What happens when you're tripping?
Right, what happens when you're tripping is that because, as I explained, the transmitters are mixed up, firstly you hear and see and sense everything heightened and distorted. Also, very peculiar things happen whereby some of the messages coming in by one sense, say you hear something, you actually experience it as seeing it.
Does everyone have the same experience?
No, it doesn't, and this is one of the problems. The experience changes depending on what the person's like, how they're feeling when they take the acid, and also what the circumstances are surrounding them when they take it.
Right. What are the dangers of taking acid?
The main danger is that in some people who are thought to be predisposed in the first place, they can have a major breakdown, and they're sick for the rest of their lives.
So basically what you're saying is that, on the whole, when people take acid, it makes them behave as if they had a psychiatric problem.
That's right.
Right. Okay, well, I'm just going up here to talk to David, who's a bouncer at the WAG Club, who'll let me in a minute, I hope. But before he does, do you get a lot of clubbers taking drugs in clubs?
Well, they do before they come into a club, but once they're in the club, they take it on the premises.
How do you tell when a club is taking drugs?
Well, they just start jumping around and just being wild as they are.
What do you do about it?
Well, we have to eject them from the club, obviously.
How many people have you thrown out?
Well,
as a result of it, or do you?
Other night on a Friday night, you could get up to 30 people that have been thrown out.
Is that recently?
Yeah.
Is that a recent phenomenon?
Since the acid started, yeah.
Are you going to let me in now?
I don't know, you'll be all right, but I don't know about the cameras.
Okay, well, I'm going to try to go in and see why LSD became associated with the acid house scene. Excuse me. Excuse me. Could you come over here, Steve, please? Could you step outside a minute? Excuse me. What? Should we go somewhere a bit more quiet? If we can get Steve out here, please. Steve, all I wanted to ask you, there's too much noise in there, is how did LSD become related to the acid? The acid house scene related to LSD. How did it become related to LSD?
I mean, the actual drug thing has never been part of what it was all about. When it was started, there was no mention of drugs. I think basically what it is because the term acid house has been used, and because everybody's adopted a sort of 70s sort of hippie psychedelia type thing as what seems relevant with it. A lot of people who don't really understand what it's about have just said, oh, acid, that's a nickname for LSD, these people are all taking drugs. Because everybody's like a bit crazy and has a really good time, so basically they're just high on adrenaline.
So that's how it got its druggy reputation?
Yeah, it's a misconception. People having a good time and everybody just assumes to have a good time, you must be on drugs.
Right, another myth hits the fan. Shall we go back in and take some ice box?
Have an ice box.
Have it on Lucas then.
Totally new kind of fabric conditioner.
It's nice to hug things. Mine is a bit cuddly.
Mr. Bonehead took the afternoon off to visit his captive mistress.
Duty calls from here. I'll, see you later. Do, duddy, 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 do.
Halt.
Duddy,
Sorry.
duddy, do, Daddy, Daddy. Here you go, boys. Lock it up.
Yes, sir.
And don't let her get out or get in any trouble.
Hail.
Oh, yes. Hail. I'll see you later, boys. Daddy, Daddy, Daddy.
Ah, quelle douceur. La fleur de l'amour. Oh là là. Par ici, c'est ça. Bon, alors. Hein? Zut alors. Voilà un petit jouet pour vous, monsieur. Allez vite.
Get it! Get it!
Bonjour, un grand poseur, un améliorant maintenant. C'est ça, je crois. La liberté. Bonsoir, mademoiselle. Ah, non, non, non. Non, 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 non. Non. Pour vous, mademoiselle.
There's been designer jeans, designer stubble, there's even been designer beer, but now, the ultimate in designer accessories, the designer pet. This, and others like it, are the bluest of blue-blooded animals, and they're bred specifically for looks and personality. For instance, they're tailor-bred for the consumer. This is a flat cat, and basically it's got a very passive, very affable personality. And if you have a flat in the city with a small space, it's very little exercise, so it's tailor-bred for somebody who lives in the city. And there are thousands of other animals like this designed for the consumer. So today, on Network 7, we present this season's collection of the cream of the animal kingdom on our very own Network 7 Dog and Cat Walk.
Rosie, and with her bunny, a delightful Shih Tzu. Shih Tzus were originally worshipped by Tibetan monks, and now worshipping owners include Letitia Dean, Sharon from EastEnders. And how could we ignore Peanuts, the most desirable Yorkshire Terrier? And he knows he has a distant cousin owned by that most caring and placid of couples, Madonna and Sean Penn. Judy with Sharpay Charlie. Look at that furrowed brow. Who's been forgetting to use the wrinkle cream, Charlie? Maybe he's worried at his price tag, a mere £800. It's pussy time with Grace and her delightful Moggy, a rag doll modestly entitled Superstar Andromeda. These cats are bred for their incredibly calm characters. They'll take a shine to anyone. In fact, rag dolls hold the world non-stop purring record, with one single purr recently timed at a gasping 45 minutes. Singer Frisbee Fox, who's dyed her hair pink to match Fifi L'Amour, her Maltese Terrier. And I'm sure boyfriend Peter Stringfellow has no trouble distinguishing between the two.
Obviously, these owners love their animals, but there's considerable medical evidence that overbreeding in these animals can cause them pain and distress and all kinds of abnormalities. For instance, Judy's Sharpay dog here, I don't know if you can see it if you just come in here, it has a skin that's specially bred to be wrinkled, and that's the desirable part of it. But this can cause it serious eye trouble. Isn't that right, Judy?
Now, with selective breeding, we have virtually eliminated the problem.
You've virtually eliminated it. But has it been the case in the past where vets have had to sew back their eyelids?
In the past, yeah. As I say, we've worked very, very hard on the problem.
Did that distress you at all?
It distressed us and the dogs.
And all over here, the flat cat, or the ragdoll cat, as it's known, Judy, it's meant to be so docile, some people say, that in fact it's defenseless. What would you say to that?
That's totally untrue. They have a very well-developed sense of danger, like any cat has, and they're very well able to look after themselves.
And do you agree with some people who say, in fact, they're so docile they possibly don't even feel pain?
That's total nonsense, because, I mean, you're an intelligent man. You know that if any breed of animal couldn't feel pain, it would die out in 2 or 3 generations.
Yes.
It's nonsense.
How do you react to any of those allegations at all?
Well, I come on Network 7 and refute them.
Okay. And Rosie, you make a lot of money out of selling designer pets. Does the fact that some of the animals are harmed by overbreeding upset you?
Well, obviously, there's still the obsessive breeders who persist with the idea that for the perfect look, they have to interbreed. But the majority of good breeders are getting away from that idea now, and they're the kind of people we use, and we haven't had any problems.
Well, the Shar-Pei, for instance, how would you feel about that?
Well, in the past, the Shar-Pei have had a lot of problems with their eyes, etc. But again, the good breeders are getting away from that, and they're not interbreeding because they're becoming more popular, and obviously there's a larger variety of stud dogs around to use.
So this the problem is becoming increasingly less frequent. I see.
Dog legally allowed in a London theatre or restaurant, but some of the restaurants I've been to, dogs should be their only customers. David and Kerry actually also come from designer pets.
He has no particular pedigree. He's a mongrel. He has nothing going for him except the fact that he's totally healthy and he's just an ordinary dog. But the fact is, nobody wants him, and there are thousands of dogs like this all over the country. And their situation is basically this. They face a lifetime languishing, locked away in a kennel. But they don't have to be like that. If you can provide a home for Buster, or any other dog like him, call the National Canine Defence League on Tuesday, tell them about your situation, and maybe you can save a dog like this from a lifetime of suffering.
We had like a couple of a drink. Mate still had a pills bottle in his hand, and one of the mates carrying a knife. And we chased them out the road. They thought they left us, so we caught them. Mate put the bottle over the geezer's head. As he went down, the other one, he smashed the bottle. The bottle smashed, put in the bloke's face. And when we tried to cut his ear off, it was just like really laying into him.
Hi, lads, what's happening? Where's your boyfriend, then, fuckhead? What? Is he one of them? Oh, aye. We did him once, but it obviously wasn't enough for him. Police is swarming with them. All right, lads, what's going on? Shut it, shit, Lifter. There's the main one. And another one with him, and a dirty old man as well. 4 of them in one go. Can't be bad.
Hey. Is this the lot that's been messing up the clothes, is it?
These the ones.
Yeah, well, I don't like my piece being dead, and I don't like me Mars either, and I don't like cars being wrecked on the coast, all right?
It was about 10 o'clock in the evening. It was a Friday evening. My girlfriend and myself had gone to bed really early because we had to be up the following morning. I got up and I opened the window. Our bedroom window looks down onto the street, to the front door, and there was 3 blokes, really large blokes they were. 2 of the blokes were kicking the door at this stage and also banging with their fists. The other bloke had his penis out and was playing with himself. And I told him, I said, listen, please go away. We don't need this hassle. He says, but we want in there. We want to show you what real men can do. You know, you dykes. The police didn't follow it up. I thought they would have at least come to the door the next morning and asked us, are you all right, girls? You know, maybe give us some advice. It does frighten me. And actually, I'm thinking of taking a course in some sort of martial art. Let's get into that bad, you know.
Quiet in the street, just walked along, chased him for a bit. He got scared, he tried to turn and said, sorry, leave me alone. We just laid into him for about 5-10 minutes, left him on the floor, a couple of black eyes, maybe a broken nose, busted up lip, maybe a few ribs. Who cares, he's a puffer.
But do you know any gay people?
Don't know none, don't want to know none. The only people only gays I want to know, the ones I give a good kicking to.
But it is a criminal offence. They've done nothing wrong, they're normal people, and yet you're mindlessly attacking them.
Well, they're not a proper person, are they? It ain't natural for two blokes to go with each other, so there's nothing wrong with them, so they deserve every single thing we ever do to them.
Have you always hated gay people?
More now, more hate the gays now for the AIDS business, but yeah, always hate them.
I'm sure if AIDS didn't exist, this man would find some other reason for hating homosexuals. I think it's probably got very little to do with AIDS. One thing that strikes me about this man is how he talks about us versus them. And he obviously has this idea that somehow he's different. I don't know his history, I don't know anything about him, but one wonders what his own feelings about sexuality are. It's almost as if homophobia or violence towards homosexuals is almost a form of defense against one's own feelings of homosexuality, perhaps.
So could some homophobics be closet homosexuals themselves?
Yes.
Making gay people very frightened to go out.
That's right, then should have. If they should go out, they should keep themselves to themselves, stay indoors. If they have to go out, go on their own, stay away from people, keep away from respectable people.
Would you call yourself respectable even though you go around smashing people up?
Well, I'm not an angel.
Is it just the enjoyment of the violence, or is it specifically because they're gay?
Mainly because we know we've done a gay. Mainly because they're gay.
I would say that this man is disturbed and that he needs help and is a danger to society.
Why wouldn't you be identified in this interview?
I just don't want to see my face on telly, and I don't want the gays near me recognising me walking down the road. Never know the same thing could happen to me.
I don't deny it. I don't advertise the fact that I am gay, but if someone asked me, yes, I would admit to it. Because I'm not ashamed of it. I am what I am. It's natural to me to be what I am.
Oh, you Emma! Emma! Calm down, buddy, you hear me? You hear me? Go on now, beat it, you!
You all right, Mum?
Fine.
Thanks, Billy. I was just about to get in there myself.
It's all right, mate.
Cheers. Thanks. It's all right.
Space, the final frontier. At least it may be soon. Since the late 50s, about 3,600 satellites have been placed in orbit. Now just a couple of hundred are still working. The rest have broken up into thousands of pieces, traveling at around 20 times the speed of a bullet. There are now over 40,000 large bits of rubbish circling the Earth in low orbit. In space, debris the size of a pin could write off a £100 million satellite or puncture a spacesuit with fatal consequences. Scientists fear one day space debris could hit a military satellite, triggering automatic defense systems. This could result in a space war. Some spacecraft don't break up in orbit, but survive re-entry, disintegrating as they fall to Earth. In July 1979, NASA's Skylab broke up and scattered white-hot metal over 1 million square miles in Australia. In 1986, 3 aircraft reported a near miss with a burning piece of Russian Proton rocket the size of a double-decker bus. And in the last 10 years, 2 Soviet defense satellites have crash-landed, spreading radioactive debris over large areas of Canada and the Indian Ocean. On Thursday, another Russian satellite crashed to Earth, landing thousands of miles from its predicted impact site. Even at this moment, a large nuclear-powered satellite is out of control. The 10-ton Cosmos 1900 is accelerating towards Earth. Space experts believe it will land in early October, but no one knows where. It's orbiting over some of the most heavily populated areas of the planet. So far, there have been no reported casualties from falling space debris. Could this cause the first?
Back at the Network 7 recording studio where Zio, producer, and Acid DJ Paul Oakenfold are remixing Glen Medeiros' new single. How's it going?
It's going really good. Basically, this is the main groove that we've got.
Yeah.
We've taken his voice, we've sampled it, we've done all of the different stuff. We've started to add guitar, various vocals.
Right, so you've got the live musicians.
Right, we've got live musicians and whatnot, countrymen and black. And we're adding all the parts right now. By the time you get back to us at the end, we'll have everything assimilated.
Will it sound anything like the original?
Hopefully not. No.
Hopefully not.
It's not supposed to sound anywhere like the original at all.
Do you think Glen is going to like this?
Yeah, he'll love it. We've converted Glen today. Glen's now an acid freak.
Right. Okay, well, get on with it.
Okay,
and
thanks.
I'll come back. You don't need any Lucozade or anything.
No Lucozade. We're cool.
Right, okay.
What sort of child were you when you were sort of 6, 7, 8, that kind of age?
Let's see, 6, 7, 8, so my parents were still married. Pretty tomboy, like really tomboy, always like, you know, with this sort of shag haircut, running around with, you know, loved David Cassidy. I don't know, just kind of like, you know, a boy. I think I was like just a little boy. I had an older brother, but I always wore his hand-me-down clothing.
Why do you think you were like a boy?
I don't know. Maybe because we weren't allowed to cry or be unhappy in our house, so that was like a girl thing. So I just thought I'd be a boy.
What I know about sort of anorexia and bulimia, eating disorders, a lot of it is said to be to do with control.
Yes.
Did you find that in your women's group? That
control was one part of it. I think, as I said before, I think bulimia especially, which I did suffer from like 13.
Which is overeating.
It's binging and purging, that whole thing, is a lot to do with that anger, and not having a safe place to express anger. But I mean, that's like a really broad term. And
what do you think you were angry about then when you were 13?
You know, I don't think you know that. I don't think it's a conscious thing, but looking back and sort of understanding it in the context, and it's not fully realized for me anyway what it's about. But where I am now and what I can understand is that if you're being steamrollered into behaving a certain way or into living a certain lifestyle or into doing anything that's, you know, not, if your own intuitive sense hasn't been appropriately developed or you don't have a good relationship with that, then there's just a lot of, you know, you find a private place, which is, you know, you can put it all around the food because it's like taking in too much and then getting rid of it. Just that whole thing is, you know, because they can't touch you there. No one can get to you there. It's your private little...
You don't just go out and buy half a ton of food sort of thing and eat it all and then make yourself sick.
It depends. Sometimes it can be like that. Other times it can be just a normal meal, but you just don't want the calories. Or usually, I mean, when I was going through that period, it's not connected to any emotional life. It's connected to wanting to be thin and wanting to not gain any weight. Supergirl was my healthiest time, actually, except for now. For the last 2 years, I've been you know, healthy. I've really
In what
come
way
out
was
of
it you're healthy?
Well, because I had to gain 16 pounds.
So you were
And I
eating a
had
lot.
I had the most beautiful man in the world, Alf Joint, who trained Chris Reeve. He was like this big sort of Cockney bloke who did the Cadbury commercials. He's the one who dove off the cliffs in the Cadbury. And, you know, and he would just like, you know, get me in the pool and we'd swim 50 laps and he'd make me run. I'd come in, I'd be eating. Like, he'd make me eat he'd come in, you know, and I'd be exhausted. He'd go, and he'd have some chocolate brazzles, as he'd call it. He goes, come on then, have a chocolate brazzle. I go, oh, Alf, no chocolate, you know, because to me, chocolate, like, this is the beginning. Chocolate, you know, you can't. Come on, you've got to have some chocolate. You know, he just, like, make me have these chocolate brazzles, pretty much. And, you know, pretty soon I was like, I don't know. It was a really positive reinforcement.
So how does eating disorders and control like that relate to relationships? Does it mean you're worried about controlling other people as well?
Oh, yeah, I mean, definitely you're going to, like, come into... I mean, I think I'm a very controlling person in relationships.
How does that manifest itself? I mean, how would you
Well,
give an
just
example
being
of that?
able to cut off when I want and, you know, just being able to somehow figuring out ways to stay strong and separated. And not as much now because I think I'm in a very healthy relationship and with someone who won't put up with that, which is basically what most control freaks need.
But what would be an example of you trying to get control in a relationship? Is it sort of insisting on going to see this film or that
Oh,
film?
no. It's sort of like plunging into some kind of philosophical discussion of why the relationship isn't working, you know.
Have you done that?
And oh, yes, and espousing for hours and, you know, and him just, you know, if I could describe it, he's a wonderful, wonderful man, but just sort of like, just, you know, like just sort of staying centered about it and just kind of, you know, like hearing it out and, you know, thank you for sharing and like, let's go out and let's go to dinner now.
But do you think that...
It's terrible to say. I'm making myself out to be like some kind of neurotic, you know, but I'm not really, you know.
Freeze. Those pyjamas are filthy. Anyway, these are your favourites.
Mum, but rabbits and cupcakes.
Look, Robert, these will need a sew. And the bus is coming at 3.
What's the problem, Robert?
Dad, I can't wear these.
Take your others.
Mum says they're dirty.
OK. 1 wash, but it might not be enough.
With Bold's boosted biological power, stains like blackcurrant juice disappear first time, more of the time.
Robert, there you go. All clean. Soft as bunny rabbits, too.
Have a good time, son.
Dib, dib, dib.
Bold 3 cleans first time, more of the time.
There's a place on Oxford Street that opens up a totally new shopping experience. There's a place that has to be seen to be believed. A place where the shops stay open after work. The Plaza is the place on Oxford Street between Oxford Circus and Tottenham Court Road.
Tuesday the 16th. Oh, things aren't the same without Mum, especially the cooking. We'd have been eating the same old thing for centuries if I hadn't insisted on something more adventurous. Pinder's crispy pancakes. We had mince beef pancakes one day and chicken and bacon the next. We really got stuck in.
Flinders crispy pancakes. Every day's got a different taste.
Mum's still stuck in hospital having my baby sister. I hope she likes crispy pancakes.
Could there be a better way to feed the dog you care for? Top breeders say there is.
One of our dogs had a delicate tummy. He wasn't very happy on any of the foods that I'd been trying.
Now there's a new way. New Pedigree Chum.
With New Pedigree Chum, he's blossomed forth into a really good-looking dog, and now he's a happy dog, and I'm a happy owner. Simply New Pedigree Chum is terrific.
Now there's a new way. New Pedigree Chum. Top breeders recommend it.
Go my gold, son! Quarter club gold. Because even if you're losing the light, you can still get a winner. Hey, I thought I won. Oh, absolutely, Steve, just keeping your place. Is that your name on there?
Kodak. We have the technology.
Okay, so it is a bit strange to come 3,000 miles just to watch a bunch of street performers on Montreal's inner city. But this is the heart of the world's biggest international comedy festival, just for laughs.
The North Sea now can be regarded as a vast chemical soup. There are anything up to 100,000 different chemicals discharged in significant quantities into it every year, and it takes 3 years to work out the effects of one of these contaminants on one organism. We're looking at a lot more contaminants, a lot more animals that live in the sea. We really haven't got very much chance of detecting anything going wrong until we get a catastrophe of this sort.
This cod, which was taken off New Haven, has got very bad lesions on its skin, and it's actually possible that some of these fish like this will be processed and turned into fish fingers. So you may end up eating something like this.
This is the sewage pumping station. It sends on London's waste out for treatment. When it rains really heavily, the system can't cope, and it's forced to put untreated sewage containing both human and factory waste straight into the Thames and then out into the sea.
It's full of bacteria, and in fact there are certain suggestions that we should be doing research into the type of viruses and bacteria in sewage sludge and the effects it's having in the marine environment, because you are just unleashing millions of different types of viruses into the sea. One of the old adages that you often hear, dilution, is a solution to pollution, which is crazy because these chemicals that we're talking about are very persistent. They don't just disperse into the environment. They actually get taken up into the food chain.
The pollutants that may be involved in this work their way through all the stages of the food chain. So the smallest animals in the food chain will take it up, then the mollusks and the animals that live on the bottom will take it up, and then it will be transferred from there to the fish that eat the mollusks and the smaller animals, and finally transferred from the fish to the seals. And to use a perhaps useful analogy, it's like a rather large monster creeping up the stairs at you one step at a time, and it's something that we're powerless to control.
Probably the environmental pollutants are causing, I would safely say, 80% of the cancers in the human population worldwide. You just have to look at the statistics in Canada and the States where the government has actually done that kind of research.
Can't afford to be at all complacent about this whole situation, because what's happening to the seals now may very well be happening to us in 15 years' time.
Completely terrifying. It's not as easy as people would have you believe. It's absolutely dreadful. What makes you do a sport like this? It's fun.
Best fun.
Would you rather be on a better beach than this?
No, it doesn't really. The beach isn't that important. It's getting out there and surfing and having fun that counts.
People think that surfers, it's like man against the elements. Is that image of surfing?
That's exactly what it is. It's man against nature, you know. Putting up what you know against Mother Ocean. If you know enough, you survive. You know?
It's really dangerous. Don't you ever knock yourself out when you're bored?
I've never had too many troubles. I've broken my nose a couple of times, but that's about the worst of it, you know. Sure, mate. Cheers.
People meditate before surfing. Are you one of those kind of people that meditate?
I don't meditate, but you know, I've certain mental processes that I go through, you know, before I compete.
Does surfing make you a rich man?
Yes, you're good at it.
Sure. Do you have to be really brawny? I mean, image of surfers is kind of brawny and very brave and kind of...
Do I look brawny? No, you don't have to be anything. You can be whatever you want. It doesn't matter if you're skinny or fat or whatever to surf.
Do you have to have guts like up there, though?
Lots and heaps of guts.
I just don't think I'm tough enough to be a surfer. I'm sorry, Barton, but...
No, I actually figured that.
I'm freezing cold.
Difficult paddle, incoming tide.
Network 7 has come to Canada.
Here it comes. Bigger and wilder than ever before. And it's gonna get you. Beware the Just for Laughs Comedy Festival with big stars like John Candy, Steve Allen, Louis Anderson, and Rich Hall. And big shows like Marcel Marceau, the Reduced Shakespeare Company, and the insane Django Edwards.
Wilson, ultraviolet.
This is the Saint-Denis Theatre. This is the home of the world's biggest international comedy festival, Just for Laughs, or Pour la Rire, as it's known by the locals.
Deserves it very so, but what are you doing out here? You do inside. Go, you do. Come on.
Hey, Ed, I got to do a rap song. Don't hurt me. Let's go. Can you do this with me, Montreal, one time? I said high and low. And a lot of very distinguished French Canadians in the audience are saying to yourselves, who the is this guy? I'm a fan of comic, well, that's my line. And I'd like to know your zodiac. 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 Zodiac sign.
It is the Cannes Film Festival of Comedy.
About 15 years ago, there were probably 3 or 4
comedy nightclubs in North America and maybe 100 comics. Now, there's probably about 300 to 400 full-time nightclubs and about 5,000 full-time comics.
It's not just men I don't understand. There's Japanese.
The comics who are unknowns are making somewhere in the vicinity from $30,000 to $70,000 a year, and the comics who are very well known will be making $500,000 a year.
I never really wanted to be a comedian at all. I always wanted to be a politician, you know. I mean, if you're going to be an international comedian and you want to make it on an international scale, then you have to play international venues.
Good evening, I'm the Sea Monster. 6 American agents came and sat on top of me last night in the bar after we'd been here at Saint Denis, and I didn't like that very much, really. They were kind of very forceful, so I pretended I wanted to go to the toilet and left.
The next act that we have is one of the few fun people in England who is neither a spitting image puppet nor a Tory MP. And his name is not Dennis Neville. Rick Neville. Is it Rick Neville? Yeah, Rick Neville. I'm sorry.
England. Well, there's a small collection of rocks on the northwestern coast of Europe, okay? And England is the bottom right-hand corner of the biggest rock. It's about the size of the average Albertan wheat field, but on a global scale, far less important.
You nervous? Yeah. You can see how nervous I am, Sebastian. I'm crapping myself. I'm sorry to say it, but I am. I'm 3,000 miles from home, and I'm crapping myself, ladies and gentlemen. I remember on the first night, this one chap got absolutely paralytic, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely paralytic he was. At the end of the evening, we had to carry him up the stairs, get him undressed, get his teeth out. I think we should have got him back to his room as well, but you can't think of everything.
They sell edible underwear. They have edible panties. My wife said, why don't we get those? I don't even eat her cooking. I'm not going to eat her underwear.
If you want to go down well in Canada, you have to appeal to the lowest common denominator. So you talk about toilets, you talk about willies, you talk about parts of the female anatomy. Breasts are always good for a laugh. So is farts and things like that. I mean, appeal to the lowest common denominator goes down well in Canada, you know.
Now, I wish I took French in high school, but I grew up in the Bronx in New York City. Now, when you live in New York, you take Spanish, because you figure Puerto Rican speak it, how tough could it possibly be? I would never do that in New York, but I know there's no Puerto Ricans here.
Well, I get a little mean up there, but you know something? It's a dog-eat-dog world. It's kill or be killed. And if you can't laugh at yourself, you make fun of other people. That's what it's all about. If you can't laugh at yourself, make fun of others.
I'm Canadian, 'cause many years ago, I was born in Montreal. I'm Canadian, English Canadian, I'm an Anglophone in Quebec.
Now, what I'm hopefully going to do is swallow the Rubik's Cube and change the colours. You can see on the Rubik's Cube, all sides have their own colours. Now, the whole idea is to try and pop it inside the belly and change the colours. If you have a look, can you see the top row has completely turned?
Thank you very much. Good night.
You guys are great. Thank you very much. Good night.
So that's it from the Montreal International Just for Laughs Comedy Festival. The city is swarming with agents, managers and publicity agents. All I want to know is why nobody has even offered me the tiniest of contracts. I'm not fussy.
be my sweet darling. Oh girl, oh girl, oh girl, I love you, I love you, I love you. Yeah, come on and be my sweet, sweet darling. Sweet darling, yeah. Come on and be my sweet, sweet darling. Every night when I go to bed, visions of your sweet smile dance in my head. I just keep on wishing for you. Dream girl, won't you please come true? Hey, baby, come on and be my sweet, sweet darling. Sweet darling, sweet darling, sweet darling, baby. Cotton candy and lollipops, lollipops never ever be sweet as you. Any way you want me, that's how I'm gonna be. Just tell me, darling, you belong to me. Sweet darling, sweet darling, woo, sweet darling, baby, sweet darling, come on and be my sweet, sweet darling. A man needs someone to hold on to. Girl, I wanna hold on to you. Ooh, baby darling, I love you, I love you. You have no idea what's true to me. Take my love and say you'll be true to me. Sugar pie, you sweeten up my day. Go with me, girl, and don't ever go away. Ooh, hey, baby, sweet darling, come on and be my sweet, sweet darling. Sweet darling, sweet darling, sweet darling, be my darling, darling, baby. Sweet darling, now, be my sweet, sweet darling.
The hype over acid house has reached such proportions that a healthy acid industry is flourishing. Now, H here runs a shop called Soul to Soul, which sells acid clothes. You're making a lot of money out of it.
At the moment, the sales are very good from anything related to the acid factory because it's very popular, very much in demand at the present moment.
How long do you think it's all going to last?
It could be anything between, say, 6 months to a year. It all really depends on how long the people remain really interested and hooked to the music.
You're raking it in.
Yeah, we're doing all right at the moment.
Okay, well, Anton the Pirate is one of the original house music people in this country. Do you like what H just said and the fact that he's making quite a lot of money out of acid house?
I mean, there are people making money out of the scene. That's inevitable with any scene. You're going to get people that are going to make money. But at the same time, it's a lot of fun involved in this scene. It's something we haven't seen on in sort of London clubland for at least 10 years. It's just a massive thing.
Where do you think it's all going to go?
It's going to split two ways. You're going to see it you're going to see an underground movement start up again. This is where it originated. Because a lot of people are fed up with the mass exposure.
So how are you going to fit it? Are you going to go underground or what?
I think I'm going to enjoy both sides of it. I've got a lot of friends that have just joined the scene. I've got a lot of mateys that were on the scene before. So, you know, it can go both ways. I'm going to be around for that.
Okay, well, we're nearing the end of the show, and we've got to find out how Glen Medeiros' remix is going. Where's Glen? He's dancing in here somewhere. Glen! Oh, go. Come under the cables.
Come on, Owen.
Yeah, we've got to pop along and I think if we make a quick sprint over here. Find out how Zio's doing. Hey, Zio. Yeah, we finished.
Yeah, we finished.
Okay, let's hear it then.
Okay, well, here it is.
Looking forward to it. kind of remix version of acid house. I'm beginning to wonder whether the scene is dead.
No, of course it's not dead. What it really shows is that this music is going to replace high energy. This is going to be the new dance music. It's going to continue. Just the fact that we could do a Glen Medeiros record like that, like we do the Bras record and whatnot, shows that the major industries see this as a marketing tool. This music is going to now become the music throughout the world in dance clubs. It's the only music you can truly dance to. It's Western civilization's first whirling dervish music. You can dance all night to.
Are you going to give up your ballads?
Maybe after this.
Yeah, seriously. We've got an exclusive on whether you can give up ballads or not.
I'll be doing a little more, I think.
Okay, well, I think you've done a pretty good job here, Zia. I think Glenn and I will go back to the party.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
All right. Okay. I think we've run across again. Like your new t-shirt.
Cooks them a big meal.